fellow watchers and enjoyers. It is I, Piggy, and I am joined by Ash today. Well, I'm always joined by Ash. I don't know why I'm saying that. And here he is. Say hello, Ash.
Hello.
This has been recorded live on YouTube. The fort has been taken down when you see this. But the actual podcast thing has been uploaded when you see this. Unless you remember, I think you've already seen this podcast possibly twice over, maybe 3 times over.
To be fair, most of the members probably don't even watch the podcast anyways, let's be honest.
No, that's fair enough. Like, this is probably the worst. This is probably the one thing that this channel will forever have, but we will be dragging it through the dirt by the time they are in their 20s.
And screaming. But yeah, I suppose just to kind of say this, of course, we were supposed to start doing the live podcast in the first week of December, but I did spend the first week of December being a little sad, burnt out, tired boy. So, I'm pretty sure the first podcast of December is Piggy what do you think of this, Ash? And I'm just sat here yeah, it was I did like it. Do you have any more on that? Not really. But fundamentally, as a bit of a tester, I do think, within reason, of course, we probably will try to do more live streams of the podcast to kind of have a way to, stream fairly regularly, so the viewers have something to watch. But perhaps we do the podcast the same time each week and don't record it early. So I don't know, if people like it, we can continue to do it. And hey, maybe that extra bit of audience participation might just hit better. But we'll see. I mean, we kind of very unannounced surprised everybody we're doing it today. And also, the EastEnders hasn't been particularly good, so the hype is at an all-time low. But I mean, I'm sure by the time we do all the live streams or whatever at Christmas, maybe then people start actually wanting to gear up to watch the podcast at 8.
Yeah. The reason why we chose 8 is because the episode obviously airs at 7:30. So if anyone from the chat does come in, it's like, bloody hell, have you seen what happened in today's EastEnders? We'll be like, well, yeah. What do you think we're doing? But also, thank you for showing up. That's why we do it at 8 instead of doing it at 6. And someone's like, you spoiled the episode for me. Why would you do that? Well, you live in the internet days, lad. So yeah.
The most unsympathetic. Well, fuck you. That's what. Fuck you. Fuck you. Don't care.
Piggy, edit that out. You've done a Kim from me from EastEnders. Edit that out. We just have that dub where Mo's obviously doing the Atlanta Falcons. Just have that me going, we love our audience. But yeah, what are the topics, Piggy? Jesus. Also, side note, I am wearing a John Cena shirt because when this comes out, John Cena would have retired, and it just okay. We'll answer your question in a second, but yeah, I'm wearing a John Cena shirt, and obviously John Cena, when this comes out, is retired, and he is sadly retired. Until he's brought out by big people in 2027 for the biggest show of the year. But yeah, what are the topics? Well, very quickly, it's episode 154, and we're going to cover the biggest storylines and takeaways from week 49 of 2025. All the episodes from the 8th of the 12th, all the way to the 11th of the 12th. I don't know why I have the introduction titled Introduction 2, but I have it titled Introduction 2. Then we have Oscar turns 18. It's not the big topic. Maybe I should have read these topics before Ash. So
yeah, it's a full shock to me. I've not heard any of these topics, so he could have put any old bollocks in there. You'll never know. Also, I fixed my lighting. Look at how much better this lighting looks, as opposed to the previous lighting. I bought a second ring light for no reason. Scammed.
But yeah, I'll read your comment in a second, lad. But yeah, as we said, Oscar turns 18. Then we have Teddy gets sent down / George finds out, or as I wanted to put it, George believes in magic. And then Sam returns, because Sam is the big topic of this week. And then we have the awards, thoughts about the show, strictly speaking, and the after show, and then the outro. And then just...
Did you have Teddy as one of the topics?
Yeah, I said Teddy gets sent down.
Did I just miss it? Yeah, sound.
Teddy gets sent down. But we first have to answer a question that our lovely... I'm not going to read out your name, because I might butcher it. But it says, I know Ben is destroying the show.
Mad Irish Brando.
Mad Irish Brando. I was definitely reading that wrong. I know Ben is destroying the show, but who are both of your favourite characters? Would you believe me if I told you Anthony's my favourite character? Like, I genuinely,
um,
just side note, I'll let you think about it, but genuinely, the reason why Anthony's my favourite character is because Ash did such an amazing job at burying him. Don't know what I mean by burying, but basically saying the character is shit and he doesn't deserve to be on the show. So it ultimately became a love-hate relationship where I love him, but for the pure fact that Ash just completely destroyed his character in one episode. I don't know what it was, but he just destroyed it on one of the podcasts. So I ultimately became a fan of Anthony out of pure spite. Well, not spite, but like it became hatred into loving, basically. Where I love him now because he's so wooden, and it's sort of just like it's so funny to rag on him. Because again, if you go to EastEnders for great acting, you're in the wrong place. But there is just some actors who definitely stand out beyond the rest. Like everyone laughs at like Zoe, but there is just some actors who are in TV land who are just ultimately very wooden. I.e., the only comparison I have is Les Dennis on Strictly, but again, that's Strictly, not a soap opera.
I mean, some people are just stealing a paycheck, really. Like, let's
Oh
be
yeah,
honest.
true, they're grifters.
I don't know how some people keep a job in some soaps, but that's besides the point. Some of them I actually quite like as well. That's the worst bit. Some of them I actually quite like, despite being wooden. My favourite character is Oscar Branning.
He's a great shout.
Always funny, always kind of. I don't know. He's been viewed as like a complex character to me. He has the sad stuff. He has his issues, but he is also the fun part of Max Branning that Max hasn't been for the last 20 years. So I don't know. Like I love Max, but I hate Max at the same time. But I can't hate Oscar because Oscar hasn't spent the last 30 years fucking up his life. And the only reason that's true is because he's only been alive for 18 of them.
Exactly. It's just as you'll find, there is dark horses on the Watching Walford channel who are essentially our go-to, like where they're first ballot Hall of Famers in our Hall of Fame or whatever the TV award version is, but they aren't in actual reality. Like Anthony, for example, like is the majority of the audience in 20 years, if the show is cancelled in 20 years, will they remember him? And as you said, I don't know why, but you really like Lauren. I mean, Lauren's nice to like. I don't know how to say that nicely. She's
My God, I didn't know where you were going there.
fucking nice. You look at the thing to look at. I tell you what. Like, I know I'm not gonna do that. but 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 like
Stop sipping your cider, old man.
But yeah, Lauren is. I understand why people like Lauren. She is a funny like character. She is one of the better like. If I had to like, I don't mean to be rude, but if I had to choose between Abby or Lauren, I would have chose Abby. But I understand why
Yeah.
Lauren was kept around. Lauren does have a bit more personality than say Abby did, and also Abby apparently. I don't know what she did behind the scenes, but she apparently was like doing
She
some.
pissed somebody off.
Yeah, yeah, apparently, and I believe she smoked a bit of old dope, and they didn't really like her.
Don't remember.
But yeah, we don't really
Yeah,
know.
but I mean, Lauren for me at the start of the year, I would always look at Lauren, or whenever she returned. Did she return at the start of 24?
2024, I want to say, yeah, 2024.
So she returned at the start of 24 with Penny, and it's like, okay, I like Penny. Lauren seems interesting, but I always looked at Lauren kind of like it should have you should have died in EastEnders, and hypothetically YouTube, you should have been the one to fall off that roof. But through the year and through the amount of screen time and attention they've given Lauren's character, she is genuinely very easy to root for and quite likable. So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. So like and by the way, just for anyone else who might be joining, we will read the chat, but we will first have to go through the EastEnders as well. And speaking of Lauren, I don't know why I still have the camera on you sipping your beer. Speaking of Lauren, we have her brother who turns the big 18. Yeah, can you believe that people born in 2007 are actually turning 18? Like, that is just why is that 100 hour? Can you
I
believe
mean,
that?
it kind of I've reached a point in time where when you get booze, it's like, oh, do you look 25? And now I am 25. I don't know if I look 25, but now people look a little bit less like, hey, he's probably old enough.
I think
And it just sends me a bit of an existential crisis. Am I too fat? Am I? Do I? Does the shitty facial hair give it away?
I mean, I said it would depend, I guess. I mean, it's just funny when I walk into my local Tesco's, they don't even ID me for the non-alcoholic. They just look at me and my dad and go, "Yeah, fair enough, you're old enough." And then obviously my dad says, "Oh, do I
Yeah,
look?"
but it also just feels a bit knobbish. Or excuse me, to ID someone for non-alcoholic.
But
Like,
obviously,
there's no booze in there. There's no booze.
but obviously,
Anyone can drink a non-alcoholic Heineken if they want.
yeah.
Don't know why you go for Heineken, but
Heineken's the only thing I'll go for in an airport because that's all they have. But this is actually just a Koppenberg or Copperberg, non-alcoholic strawberry and lime. So yeah, if you very quickly want
that's
to shout.
also the first time in our entire friendship we've actually said the name correctly. It's a lost cause.
Yeah, if you don't know, I'll
I
take.
want a Koppenberg. So what? Koppenberg. I want Koppenberg, please, sir.
I'll just update the timestamp because I know someone will be complaining on the comments if we don't. It's just this.
Honestly, at this point, we're lucky to get the traffic on the podcast.
I know it's like it's. Right, I'll read your comment afterwards. I'll just very quickly want to talk about Oscar to give me about 5 minutes, and then I will read your comment. So if you can, because this is very quick, by the way. This only happens over like 2 days, so it'll be like 5 minutes at max. Oscar turns 18. So why did I have to say why does he turn 18? You all know why he turns 18. He was born in 2007. But yeah, so he's now a man, and now finally the people who complained about him drinking, underage drinking on the square can finally shut up. Because it was I know it's illegal, but it's still legal. He's 16, and he had a supervisor with him in bloody Lauren and Penny, so it's fine. Um, so yeah,
Supervisor.
supervisor. What?
Well, you just mean that his girlfriend was giving him booze underage.
Yeah,
Like if you're 17, you can't just go into a pub and go, yeah, can I get skibby booze? You can't get lit. It's illegal. You get your license taken away.
I
But then
mean,
again, not like Jasmine gives a fuck about the Albert's license, not her fucking part.
I
At
don't
least,
know.
who cares?
Um, and yeah, so Oscar in Monday's episode is like blowing on an apple, saying, "Lauren, don't run away. I know you're buying me a birthday present." Lol. And that is what he does on Monday's episode, but his main focus happens in Thursday's episode, where he's obviously he's turned 18, and Lauren's like, I've got no surprise for you. Just get him the Albert there. Go on. They get in the Albert, and then they're like, surprise! He's like, yeah, thank you for my birthday. And they're like, we've got your present, but we haven't got your present. We'll buy you some beer.
I mean, I also just say it's a fully packed out Albert. Everybody's there. Yeah, of course, it's Oscar. He's bisexual, so he's feasting on the eye candy, just browsing around. And Lauren kind of takes the time to be like, "Hey, maybe you should forget about Jasmine. Maybe she should go to the back of your brain. Why don't you find someone else?" And then Cindy, honestly, Cindy's had some banger one-liners this entire Christmas, where Cindy just embarrasses everyone, being like, "Look, to get over what someone, you get under someone else." And then Ian's like, "Yeah, that's your solution for everything." And then Cindy's like, "Yeah, just don't marry them." And then Ian goes, "Yeah, or just don't get shot by them." Essentially,
Yeah,
just if there's one thing I'm so very glad about, it's the fact that Ian and Cindy still share scenes despite not being together, because there's so much good history to play on that if you don't do it, you are just wasting your time. Essentially, like I love Elaine and Cindy, but you need Cindy to be in everybody's orbit because she's just an asshole. But I love her.
yeah, I would agree with that. But basically Lauren's like, go on, chat up that man there. Go on, chat up him. He's a good, handsome young fella. Go chat him up. And Oscar's like,
Yes, indeed.
Oscar's like, stop it. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to. But I will. And then the guy, he scores. And then he just has the biggest sheet-hitting grin. Because he goes, as he's like getting some dick. He's getting some dick player. And he goes back and he man kisses him. And then Oscar's like, I'm going to be honest, mate. I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I can commit to this. I don't know if I want this. And your man goes, that's all right. I understand. And then, like, fucking Batman, I said that again. Like, Batman, she just appears out of nowhere. There's Jasmine. It's like, you got to help me, mate. You got to help me. And then Oscar's like, okay.
I also think the rich part as well is the fact that it's not that Jasmine gives a single shit about the fact that Oscar's been tonguing someone else. It's the fact that she seems unfazed and just goes, "Help me," which is funny because she is a life-size Bratz doll. But it's also just funny. It's just funny. Like you were together. At least be like, oh my, how dare you start guilt tripping him? Fuck it, who cares?
Yeah,
Guilt trip him on his birthday.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it, but Jasmine shit. How else are you gonna sucker him in again?
I don't know. But
This is not legal advice.
this is legal advice. Trust Asher and everything he said. But to read Mad Irish Brando's comment here, he says, I like her because the actor can do so much things. Obviously talking about Lauren. Like with the alcohol addiction and the Jimmy stuff and the past. Yeah, I would agree with that, honestly. Would you agree with that, Ash?
Yeah, no problems with Lauren. All in all, I used to hate her, but now I like her, and I think she's. I was really skeptical when they were going to bring her back, but judging how they've aimed to rebuild the Brannings, it just makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I will continue. Oh, is everything frozen on my end or my? I don't know what to do.
15th part of this episode was pretty good, and I think fundamentally they did a really good job of distancing it. It's kind of a weird state of play, and we've said this in all the videos, like the Walford on Tap, that nobody's going to watch, is the fact that whenever Zoe's not on our screens, the quality of the episode goes a little bit higher because we're not constantly subjected to Zoe being like, I'm being stalked. Oh no. So like once you get who are and should be key pieces of the puzzle, but instead they just aren't really like I don't know. It just feels like when they suddenly put Zoe in front of everyone, it makes you forget about all of the other really good things. And I don't even want to hate Zoe. I want to like Zoe, but they've not really done well to promote her as a genuinely likable character, and that's why both us and the audience aren't really receptive to her.
Yeah, sorry. You, from my end, you cut out for some of that, but I did get most of
Yeah.
it. So, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, because if you don't know, Fortnite's updating my background, and then I stopped that Fortnite, stop updating, and then they went, okay, we will.
Dead
And
by
then,
Daylight.
and then I went, 10 minutes went by, and then they went, okay, we're going to actually update. And I went, dick.
Thought
But
so.
yeah, I hate when fucking games do that to you. Can't even play Fortnite this weekend. My friends are away. I'm not playing it by myself. I don't like playing Fortnite by myself. It seems boring. But you're not here for Fortnite talk. You're here for
But
me.
that's mostly just because you get killed by the first person you see.
It's true. What am I supposed to say? No, no. It's true.
No, I kill lots of people.
I kill people with my bare hands.
In Fortnite.
In Fortnite. Speaking of killing, Teddy. Woo! Segue. Sorry, I thought it was a good segue. Teddy is sent down if you follow the reactions this week, you will understand some of the lore we have.
Not that you could, because they're not out yet. Oh, I know they will be out yet.
They will be out when you watch this.
Schedule.
Yeah, when you watch this, if you're
And
watching
you better fucking watch this.
if you're watching this live, they haven't been out yet. If you are watching these on demand, it has been out. Unless you are a member and you get this early and it hasn't been out. I'm sorry. But if you follow our reactions, you will know that we've had a running joke on them about Teddy, where Ben Wadey clearly does not like him. And Ben Wadey really hated Teddy. And if you're wondering why Teddy gets his own segment here, well, would you believe me, Ash? Because he's not a young child who has murdered someone and is given a new identity. He is a 40 to 50-year-old man, and he's been given 20 years. He's been given 20 years to life. He's never coming back. He's never seen the end of that jail cell.
No, he's never coming back. He's 100% in the... Unless Chris Crenshaw suddenly is able to come back in 20 years. If EastEnders is even still on in 20 years. But, like, what would you even do where you go, I'm going to bring back 65... I'm going to assume he's 45. 60-year-old Teddy Mitchell. A little... just a mistake on the page that was never really given anything to do. So it's we've kind of lamented this in a lot of the episodes because we just see it happening, and I don't know. I think because I feel like most of us kind of read a little bit too far into it because you go, oh well, if there's a trial, that means there's a chance he fights against it. Nah. Oh, oh, he's just got 20 years for her life. Sound. Woohoo. Now, maybe there's a chance he gets, like, off on good behavior or something, but unlikely because he has a life sentence. But yeah, just, oh, I don't know. So, development generally got cut off. And beyond that point, he never really got to recover. Because what went wrong for Teddy is Teddy and Sharon are together despite everything, despite her always finding her way back to Phil. But Teddy and Sharon didn't really work, and also Sharon was kind of unavailable, let's be honest. She didn't really show up. She's not that frequent a flyer these days, so maybe she didn't really have the right amount of time to actually show up and actually do the episodes. It wasn't as bad last year, but she did take a lot of time off. Well, up to her. So when the Sharon stuff didn't work, they didn't go with that angle, and they didn't really toy with the friction between Teddy and Phil. And then you go, okay, but now they're going to bring in Nicola, and Nicola and Teddy have this bitey, like fierce, toxic chemistry where they probably shouldn't be together, and they would both be a whole lot happier if they weren't. But they are. But then they split them up because Nicola did some horrendous shit. And then at that point, he disappears off our screens and sets up a ridiculously clown shoe sized camera in a drug dealer's apartment. And obviously it gets caught, and then it sends Harry down the spiral. But then in retort, Teddy at least takes the rap for Harry for taking Oki's life rather. My God, imagine that twist of fate. But no, so he takes he repents in the end, but it's just it was failure to arrive. It was like it's like, oh, I'm gonna go visit my long-term partner. Oh shit, my flight got cancelled or delayed. I can't go. But don't worry, I'll go next time. All right, you got to go next time. Next time you get really bad food poisoning, you're like, oh, I can't sit on a plane. I'll shit myself. And that's kind of how Teddy's time on the show went, where you think finally they're going to actually do this big story, but then they just don't. And he is just a dead man walking. And it's why I essentially put him on my Deadpool, because his position was pretty pretty tetchy at the best of times. And, look, I see the future, and I was correct.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'll quickly run through his scenes. If you don't mind, I will. And if where I start is in Wednesday's episode. Yeah, Wednesday's episode. In Wednesday's episode, we see him go on trial. Basically, the build up as well has been. Harry has told George that he did commit the crimes, and George is like, "All right, but your dad is a sound man, and if he's capable of doing it, he will do it for you. You don't mind taking the charge from him." Basically, that's what he says, and George and Harry's like, "Okay, thank you, George." And then immediately afterwards, he writes a note to Nicholas saying, "I'm going to the court. See ya." He ends up going to the new set. I don't know what it's called, so I just call it the new set. Where he stayed in, I think, a hotel or something. At a
Seemed like he
one
was sleeping rough, let's be real.
Probably sleeping rough, yeah. And basically Teddy's on trial, and Nicholas, Zach, Barney, Honey, and Billy all go to the trial. Um, they see Teddy, and then they're like, "Edward Mitchell, you are facing 20 years to life," and it's like, oh. But then, and I know I've run this joke on the ground, but like then the next day, like Harry overdoses, and they go to hospital to help Harry, because he's overdosed. I should have trigger warned that, but he overdoses, and then Nicola like, oh, George's like, oh, we should get your ultrasound done and see about the baby. In my head, they were just playing "Do You Believe in Magic" as they were skimming down the halls, getting dessert, getting dinner. Like, oh, I'll stop putting paint on my face, Jesus. Here comes the airplane. Just doing that like all couples do. Um, and yeah, and they got the ultrasound done, and then Billy tells Teddy, and Teddy's like, "Warn George, get as far away as possible from her, please. Run, run, George, run like you've never ran before, please." And Billy's like, "All right, what do you want about?" And then
See,
yeah,
when I think of Do You Believe in Magic, I just think of the segment in American Pie where good old Oz Striker is. American Pie doesn't age very well, but it's a guilty pleasure. But I publicly admitted it, so you know, has some problematic themes. Let's just say that. But it is still one of the like definitive like teen sex comedies out there. So point being, Ozstriker decides his plan to find like a woman to, do the business with as he starts going to do choir. And let me tell you, he can't sing. So, but he does find I've forgotten her fucking name. It's the it's the one that oh god, I'm gonna evoke his name. She was also the one in American Beauty. I think her actual name's like Mina Suave or whatever. She was American Beauty, the one with Kevin Spacey. No, no, no.
guys, it's
But yeah,
fine. He's
that one.
gay. He's gay. It's fine.
Yeah, and yeah, they get together anyways, and he sings "Do You Believe in Magic?" He chooses choir over lacrosse. How dare he? What a pivotal part in the movie.
But yeah, sorry, just side note, because I do find it funny that Teddy.
That's my American Pie breakdown in 2025.
it,
And also Jim sticks his dick in an apple pie. Good for you.
and I know that Tom DeLonge was supposed to be Stifler in American Pie, but he never got the role. That's why they cameo in the first movie. There's Blink. There you go. But I will say, just the reason why I chose "Do You Believe in Magic," it's just because of how campy it is. Because just like, oh, look, Nicola, I know your ex has been sent down, but like this fucking baby, come on, you were having a child. Just,
You know what they say about new beginnings? Well, we're having one now. But they do decide essentially, let's keep the baby, which as I've maintained on the reactions and whatnot, I do actually like this kind of idea. I like the direction. I want to see Nicola being a slightly older mum and just being pissed off at everyone, like just angry, just like, oh, like, just imagine the scenes where Nicola and George go to like a prenatal class, and they're having to do like the fucking yoga, and you have a bunch of these like teenagers just like, you know what, I love you, we're gonna be together forever, and Nicola's just kind of sat there like, baby bump and everything, just like, fuck off, fuck you.
Can of Stella in one hand, cigarette in the
I've
other.
been where you're at now. Fuck you. Just angry at everyone. But I think it's money. But I also, just, I don't know. I think Nicola will boss it, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
she. It's weird how people have the obsession, especially Twitter, where they always do the old "see you next Tuesday" with a Y on the end. You know, they love that sort of bob. She's got the short hair. She's thriving. I want to see her with a baby bump pushing a pram. Well, maybe not the baby bump pushing a pram. That's kind of sequence breaking. But, I want to see it all. I want to see it all. I hope the baby doesn't, like, I hope the baby makes it term. But it is EastEnders. And let's be real, they might just say, fuck you. So, never know. But I want to see it. I want to see George trying to be a dad again, even though he doesn't necessarily deserve another chance, because he probably does. If we're ranking people who don't deserve to be parents again, Phil never deserves to be a parent again. He's fucking sold that right down the river. Suki, yeah, on the day it depends, but probably not. But I'd like to see George have another crack at it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But it's just how much they've shifted Teddy or shafted Teddy. It's just like, he's gone
Hmm.
now. Time to get the kid on the
I
way.
think the most kind of glaring part as well, excuse me, is the fact that the second the second that Teddy's out of the picture, suddenly Zach's back in there, just like, hey, I'll see ya. And then it's like, Barney, how do you like your new dad? Oh yeah, I love my new dad. Like, I made the joke that like Teddy should have sat down Barney, saying how his new dad's actually gonna treat him way better than he ever did, and he's gonna tuck him in at night because he's gonna be there and I'm not. Like, because how fucking, you've taken away one of his kids. The baby's not even his. And now he's spending life in prison whilst his actual kids overdosed. And now Zach's being like, "Hey Barney, I'll be your dad now." Like, fucking hell. And Nicola's moved on with another man. Like, Jesus Christ, jeepers, jeezy peeps, man. Like, how fucking. I don't know what he did to piss Ben Wadey off, but it must have been something fucking fierce.
I mean, I just find the fun.
It's like that famous clip of like Game of Thrones, where you once again, I'm terrible with names, but I remember what they were in. You know that annoying little shit kid in the first Nanny McPhee?
I think so. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah,
Um, and
Peter Dinklage.
he was in Game of Thrones. No,
I
but
knew.
oh,
I knew that would throw you.
um,
I knew it would throw you.
not even good. It's
I know.
just an oddball. But he's in Game of Thrones. He travels with Brandon Stark and his sister. That she's basically like a wildling, and he can walk into things. He can see stuff through other people's eyes. Blah, blah, blah. It kills you slowly. But like in the books, he's still alive. But in the show, I'm pretty sure he's stabbed, he's shot, and he's burnt alive. Or he's not burnt alive, but he's burned. So like, there's no chance he's ever coming back. He's not even dead in the books. But like that's kind of how they treated Teddy in this situation, where it's like, I'm dead. See ya. It's like, what? What do you mean? Yeah, yeah. Don't worry. 20 years isn't even that long a time. You're like, what? What do you mean? That's how much of a burial they've given Teddy Mitchell. And I don't even know what's kind of warranted this sort of fuck you.
I mean, I don't know as well. I just find it funny, really. Just give me a second. I'm doing
Yeah,
something.
what you getting distracted by? I could just see your face, just like panic, panic.
Nothing. I was just redoing. I was just like doing the chat to see if anyone else commented. It was all I was getting panicked by. But yeah. So yeah. I'd agree with Teddy. He's just being fucked over. What's happening now? Um, but I will continue on. Um, this is the final of the EastEnders topics. This is Sam Mitchell.
Whoa.
No one cares about the EastEnders. Let's be real. Um, this is Sam Mitchell returns. She's fully back now, just for a short stint. And knowing Ben Whiteley, since he's the opposite of Chris Crenshaw, short stint's going to be 6 months, and then another year on top of that. So yeah, Sam is basically back. She is back on the square. She immediately, I need the money. So what will I do? I'll raid Phil, and she immediately raids Phil's bank. She goes into the house. She opens the safe, guesses the password like 3 times, gets it wrong on the third try. Opens the safe. Nigel comes in. He's like, "Oh, Claire," and then Sam's like, "Yeah, Claire. Yeah, I'm Claire." Um, And then she takes the money, but as Ash pointed out in the on the reactions, she did take like 20 years to get into that safe. Like the amount of like money that's been in it. Like, want to just say something about the safe? Like about her reaching in?
uh, well, it's just she just kept on digging. You know, it's just like, look, if she was digging for gold, she found an absolute massive vein. Because like, it felt like she was just like, oh bloody hell! I felt like she's if she should have just wiped some sweat off her brow, the amount of money she was just raking in, just like, oh Jesus, oh God, it's just insane. She's just doing so much.
Yeah. Um. And yeah, so she basically robbed from the safe, and Nigel lets her off because Nigel is getting confused.
I mean, Nigel thinks she's Claire Bates, essentially.
Yeah.
That's the whole crux of this. She is a blonde woman, what, like 40s, 50s, early 50s, like late 40s. Um, so she kind of fits the bill. Honestly, for lookalikes, probably not even too far off in a way. Definitely have the same sort of attitude towards loved ones, quite callous to both Sam and Claire. And both will fuck anybody over, even family. So yeah, it's you can understand why Nigel got confused because they are quite the same.
Yeah.
In the same way, neither character's really progressed since about 2007. So
Nearly knocked my mouse flying off the desk. Let's go. But yeah, she reaches into that safe and then just runs off. And then Nigel goes up to Phil and he's like, "Yeah, thanks for letting Claire take that money." And Phil's like, "Who took the money?" Just a blonde lady, middle age. And he goes down to Nick and it's like,
you
"Oh, I
take
see.
my money. bit,
Okay."
bit of gold digger.
Uh, I said something else there. But yeah, he takes the he goes to Nick and he goes, "You took my money," and then she's like, "Fuck off, I didn't." Oh, all right. And then Sam bumps into Cat and Cat's like, "Who are you stealing half this to, Sam?" And then Sam just jokes, he's like, "Don't worry about it." And then Phil's like, "Oi, oi, I noticed you there. Come back here, you little shit. Come back here."
Yeah. It is the older brother approach, right? Look, as someone who's not the older brother, I'm the baby of the family. You do get way with more shit. Like, well, in its own right, the different way. Because if you're like the last kid, the parents are either trying their best to not fuck you up like the others, or they're kind of like, oh, fucking hell, we had another one. You guys raise them. Fuck it, I'm off. See ya. So, which one was I? You'll never know. But you get those gists where it's like, So, but being the youngest one, you are just a bit of a prick. As a younger brother, you are just a bit of an arsehole. But it's mostly it's in jest. Not when Sam does it. Sam is just robbing from family for no reason. But likewise, that is just the Sam Mitchell role. I mean, it's how it's how siblings are characterized in most media, right? You know, the younger brother gets themselves into trouble, the older brother or the older sister has to go and sort that shit out. It's just, it's part and parcel. It's just kind of how it is, and it's kind of just how it is in general, really. You know, yeah, sure, your parents do raise you, but your siblings are the ones to kind of keep your shit in check, make sure you don't spiral out of control. So yeah, and Phil is, I mean, let's be real. Phil has zero reason to actually want Sam back, considering that's the last time she left, she stole his inheritance from Aunt Sal. Not that he needs it, and he also destroyed his marriage. So she did ruin everything for him at that time. And even when he was at his lowest, she didn't even try to contact him or anything. So, you can understand why Phil's just looking at her like, I'm sick of you. I know you've only been gone for well, she go 2022, 23, I don't know.
24.
But, oh, Jesus. Man, she's back so soon. Even though, yeah, it was 24 because that was when New Mitchells were introduced. Even though you've been gone a year, still too short. Please leave.
But yeah, Phil does notice that Sam has taken the money, and then she meets up with Ricky, buys him a few chips, probably out of the money she stole from Phil. And then she starts worrying old Ricky, where she's like, "Yeah, Ricky, I might not be around in 5 years, Ricky. Now, hypothetically speaking, I might not be around. Just I want this money I have. I want you to have it, because you never know when your last day is going to be. But I'm not dying, or am I?"
I mean, let's be real, and this may be a slightly more darker joke. It's the conversation you have when you've decided you're done. It's like, look, you say all the things you've always wanted to say but never have, and you just kind of go, hey, look, I always love you, I always appreciate you, but, you know, we're not all going to be around forever, so I want you to remember this. I want you to be fine when I'm gone. And obviously, if you're checking yourself out, obviously at that point they go, "What the fuck? Whoa, whoa, what the fuck does that mean?" But Sam thinks she's dying with breast cancer, which, judging how, I mean, there's so much history. It's kind of a really interesting twist to have Sam have breast cancer, simply because that is what took Peggy Mitchell from us. So it's kind of interesting to see it polarized because, I mean, look, Peggy had her faults, but she had a legion of people who would support her through anything. But Sam has spent her life doing the opposite, where she goes, I want to be independent, I want to be by myself. Any of the people I'm going to use and control and try to get money out of them, and if they stop giving me what I want, I'm going to leave. So you kind of have the polar opposites in a way, where Sam is Sam is not she's not good at people, and whereas at least Peggy had the support of everyone really when she was diagnosed. Obviously, what the main crux of this thing is, despite her saying all this, we only later learn that she's not even been diagnosed with anything, so she's just found a lump, which still is a very scary scenario. I've never had to go through that, but I would imagine the time between when you find said lump, wherever it may be, and you actually get the all clear, is probably a bit of a fucking anxiety inducing situation.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, Jack comes in and Jack says, "You let Ricky skip school? What the fuck, mate? You know he's the dad. Why are you letting the dad skip school?" Because if you don't know, Ricky is her dad. Yeah, which is so funny to think about that he's a dad. So yeah, continuing on. Um, Sam basically talks to Jack and is like, "Yeah, I found a lump. I might die, so I'm gonna leave now." And then Phil appears out of nowhere and he's like, "Thanks for that. I'm taking your wallet now. I'm taking the money back." And Sam's like, "What, why? It's my money." And Phil's like, "No, it's not. It's mine." And then takes the money back. And then Sam goes back to the house and notices Nigel, and
I
she's
mean,
like,
it takes the only thing that actually keeps Sam there immediately is Denise says, "I'll give you 20 grand if you stay and go to your appointment." Essentially, because obviously Jack wants Sam to be there for Ricky, and Jack doesn't want the last thing that Sam ever did for Ricky is to disappoint him. So they kind of make that bold play, and yeah, that's when kind of Sam. I don't think Sam's not necessarily aware that Nigel has dementia, but if you do get called a name that's not your name by someone who fully believes it, something does start whirring in the background. You go, maybe something's not right here.
"Yeah." And continuing on. So she kind of just lets Nigel pretend that she's Claire, and then basically takes Nigel a trip to the bank. We love the bank. And she basically, like, "Yeah, yeah, just put your PIN card in here." We don't obviously see the transaction, but to imagine it, she's like, "Yeah, just put your PIN card in here. Yep, this is my bank details. Sam Mitchell." "Yeah, oh, no, I've changed my name. Claire. Yeah, thanks for the money." And then Julie spots this, and Julie rightfully decks her, like absolutely punches her right in the face, just right in the mush. Um, and and yeah,
I mean,
Sam,
Sam's 2 for 2 in people she's tried to con out of money in 2 days. Like, she tried to steal Phil's money, didn't work. She tried to steal Nigel's money, but Nigel says, "No, no, no, I wanted to give it to you because I say this is Nigel's like not retirement fund because he's not getting to retirement, but it's his like care packages and like how he's gonna pay for things because he obviously doesn't want to feel like he's a burden when when his dementia progresses. So in that same way, now Sam has happily went, "Hey, I'll just give that to Ricky, and Ricky will get all this money once he turns 18." Way, but that being said, yeah, Julie does deck her. She does punch her across the face with her fist.
yeah, and
What
she
else do you punch someone with?
the show.
Um, but I think it's kind of, and then when kind of arguing, Sam and Julia rightfully done with Sam, or Phil and Julia done with Sam in that aspect. But when they get back to the house, Nigel's kind of like, "Look, I wanted to help her, but she was scared." Basically, he tried to spin that she was scared and how, you know, basically Nigel sensed that something was wrong with her and she was frantically trying to change her fate, essentially. She was trying to change the tides and do something better, do something that's different as to what she was doing. So by doing that, he feels like he's helped support her. So he kind of lets Phil see a bit of sense in a way where initially Phil sends her out, that being Sam. And then Sam's like, "I know you didn't change, you prick." And it's like, you tried to steal thousands of pounds from me and my best friend who has young onset dementia. But he's like, "Yeah, I knew you didn't change, you prick." But then he has a change of heart and realizes, look, I think it's the right time. We should actually go ahead and support each other here. Obviously, I mean, Phil is a pretty kind of interesting line, right? Where they kind of Sam jokes that Phil's loaded and he's got all the money, and he's kind of like, "Yeah, but I would trade it all in if I could bring people back." And that's a kind of not to start that like moral quandary, but it's the old adage of like money doesn't bring you happiness, which certainly does help in most aspects. It's once you're no longer living like paycheck to paycheck definitely stops you being worried about money and makes it a non-issue. Definitely always a fun thing to be able to not have to check your bank before you pay for something. But fundamentally, money doesn't cover up the grief you suffer. Money doesn't cover up the guilt. It doesn't cover up the broken relationships. It doesn't cover up the mistakes or the regrets you wish you could change. And that's kind of a really interesting way that they kind of address that with Phil. Where it's like, yeah, Phil, he does have the house and he does have the businesses. But there's a reason why last year he was all alone, or this year he's still all alone. And that's kind of, I don't know, I just thought it was really interesting. Thought it was a really cool little tidbit, honestly. And they both kind of remark about, like, obviously he'd bring back Peggy if he had the chance, like, that sort of thing. And that's kind of gives him a bit more of a perspective on it, where he is now ready and willing to comfort and actually support Sam and at least hope that, she goes through her diagnosis, if there is any diagnosis. We obviously know that through spoilers, but, and is actually going to be there for her. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I did enjoy it. And I like the I like the difference in the dynamic because it feels like, but the one thing I'm not looking forward to is it does feel like in the end, Sam will probably fuck over Phil again.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, my headphones fell off. And that is the week of EastEnders.
Do you have any thoughts on it?
I do. I just wanted to say that was the week of EastEnders because that is the final topic. But I liked seeing Sam back. I don't. I'm glad we didn't bring back the original Sam. I'm just to put that out there. I'm kind of glad. Just it's something
I
to say.
mean, the ship has sailed.
Yes, the ship has sailed. Hopefully she is
Been
doing,
given countless chances, hasn't worked out. So
and I hope wherever she is, she's doing fine. She's not doing too bad. And it's nice to see Kim Metcalf back in this role. Obviously, Vicky has a joke saying, "Oh look, it's the Den Watts Party Brigade. Where's the fan club? Come on, guys!" Because obviously Zoe's back, and then obviously Sam is back. So now people are waiting for Chrissy to come back. Don't know if that's
and I mean,
happening.
Chrissy did show up like in the year.
Yeah, she showed up last year, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, will Chrissy show back up? No, she won't. She probably won't. No. Um, although that would be great. That would be great if she was the stalker of Zoe. But like, who knows? So yeah, I will now. Like I said, I enjoy Sam coming back. I enjoy seeing what Sam's going to be up to. I do wonder where she's going to go from here. Obviously, we know she's been diagnosed with cancer. So that's going to be tough to watch. But what I will say is, poor Phil, he's going to have a rough 2026. His sister's going to get diagnosed with breast cancer, and his best mate's going to get worse with dementia. While his best mate's wife is there pissing him off. Have an avocado,
Mm-hmm.
Phil. How about a bacon butty? Have an avocado. No, fuck off.
Phil, do you want some avocado on toast? No, I fucking don't. Yeah, but Phil gone it's healthier. Fuck off, Julie. Fuck off.
I really just want a children in need where we just
Do you
see
want some French toast?
I just want a children's in need where we
I'll
just
put an asparagus on it.
but like I was trying to say, I really want a children's in need where we just see Phil and Julie on a road trip. That's all I want. They're on a road. They have to go somewhere. So obviously, like Julie has the map. Phil's driving, and then fucking Julie sends him the wrong direction, and they're just bickering. It, honestly, when Nigel passes, and if they do cremate him, that's a fantastic. Like, I know that's cruel to say, but that's a fantastic, like, little funny, like children's things you could do. Just like where you have to, like, obviously spread Nigel's ashes, but obviously they get lost. They just get angry with each other. Fuck off! I'm not doing that. Yes, you are. Just an idea. Yeah, after me, it would be funny. But now it is time for the awards and the thoughts about the show, because we've talked enough about the EastEnders, and these are usually shorter because of Walter and Tap. So yeah, So yeah,
We've
where the
still gone for a good hour.
we have indeed.
Nothing to be scoffed at.
Yeah,
I also feel like for the first time in weeks, I've actually found my voice and I've actually found stuff I've enjoyed. So we are thriving.
yeah. But continuing on, there we go. Continuing on, this is so the thoughts about the show. I think this week has been all right. I think it's been decent. Um, it's nice when Zoe doesn't get a main focus, but also it's next week the Zoe show is back, I believe, because of the Branning household going up in flames, and also because of Max possibly returning next week. Woo! That's what we've been waiting for, baby. Because Max will be back. So yeah, just spoilers. But I look forward to seeing where the future goes with Sam, and I look forward to seeing Nigel's nativity play when that happens. I don't think that's next week. I think that's the following week.
I think it's the
And
following week, yeah.
Nigel's like special episode where again, like we mentioned last week, Barry has possibly spoiled the third return. There's possibly going to be a sneaky Royal Rumble surprise in there, and Barry has obviously spoiled it. So possibly spoiled it. I
See, the
would.
issue with that, the issue with the flash forward is so many people online are saying 2027 flash forward. Ronnie and Roxy are back, and it's like, no, stop. Don't give me hope. Don't do it. Because I can just feel it like slipping in, just like, yes. But imagine the whole year of build seeing as to how Ronnie or Roxy's back. Yeah. It's just like, it's that like I don't know. It's just looking at me like that final bit of cheesecake in the fridge that it's supposed to be like my brother's, but I'm just looking at it and it's speaking to me like, Ronnie and Roxy, I'll be back. And I'm like, just make it stop, please. Oh, fuck. I'm eating it all up. Shit myself. It's just too much to handle. It's too much. I don't know. I don't think Ronnie and Roxy are coming back, but I'm a little fucking simp. So if it does, fucking party all night.
I mean, it could be the flash forward. We don't
I've
know.
I've gotten excited talking about it now.
It's just only
It's
three
just
more weeks.
blah, 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 delicious.
So, um, but yeah,
I need to calm myself down.
he's getting erect over the cheesecake, lads. Would you believe it? But continuing on, yeah, I like this week. I like what's possibly happening in the future with Nigel and stuff. Again, Barry also appearing in the future, and Pat appearing in the future. It's nice to see Pat, or
Past,
as a
technically.
what's it, my microphone
No, I said in the past, technically.
in the past, yeah. Um,
In the future, as of our time, but in the EastEnders time, past.
yeah.
Get it? It's funny. It's a subverting of expectations.
I don't know why you're.
And finally, EastEnders is going to finally do the past, the present, and the future Christmas Carol bullshit. Which I don't mind. I just don't like the Christmas Carol because my mum says it's a favourite movie, makes us all sit down and watch it, and she fucks off whilst we're sat there having to watch it for the seventh year in a row.
I don't know why you sound like
Fucking Ebenezer Scrooge.
I don't know why you sound like Alan from Smiling Friends when saying that. But yeah, uh,
He's a good. He's a good. He's Ebenezer good.
all right. What did you think about the show and the thoughts about this week?
Yeah, it was all right. It was a fine week. We had a slow start, I will say. I thought Monday and Tuesday's episode weren't that interesting, but as we kind of reiterated, it feels wrong to suggest, but in the same way, any week that isn't mainly focused on Zoe is probably a whole lot more palatable than the ones that actually do have Zoe. So it's a bit annoying in a way, but also it's just how it is. Like, it's just, look, they've done a shit job at building up Zoe, and I feel like the second that the Stalker Son storyline wraps up, everything will be fine. It's just they've made it so incredibly tedious to sit through that we're all just like, please just finish. You know, it's like it's like seducing someone you've been fantasizing with sexually. And you seduce them and you plan like way in the future, and it's like, oh yeah, baby, we're gonna go all night. We're gonna go all night long, but you planned it way too far in advance. So it's like, and then 6 months pass, and then 6 months pass, and you're not even feeling it that much. But you already said you were gonna do it, so it's like, ah, fuck it, let's just do it. And then you get in there, and you blow your beans in 2 minutes, and you have to spend the rest of the night crying and cuddling. Which I've
Okay.
never done, of course.
Yeah, which you've never done, of course. Yeah.
Never
Uh,
done.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
but
he is asexual.
that's how this stalker storyline feels. It started off as a very tantalizing, juicy prospect, but now it's just finish it, please, please. We're no closer to knowing who Zoe's son is, and we're still not that much closer to finding out who the stalker is. I'll still, point this out on the podcast. I think they're going to mold the two storylines together. I think the stalker is going to be Zoe's son. And hopefully at that fucking point, we can move on and stop doing Stalker of the Week.
Yeah, I agree with that. And now I must have.
All that to say, the week was actually good. So, yeah, it was fun. It was a good week.
There was a bit of hiccups, but that's all good. Now it is time for the award, and viewers who are watching this at home, live or on demand, comment both on demand or live in the chat. Your awards when I give them out if you want to chime in. So the awards are the Chris Crenshaw Award, which is the most promising, the Anthony Truman Award, the most wooden of the week. Again, most wooden can be anything. It can be literally the door behind me. It can be Ash's forehead. It can be the bed. It can be again anything. The sky is the limit. Is the what you can name it. It doesn't even have to be in EastEnders. It can be in Hollyoaks. It can be in Coronation Street. It can be in anything. So that's the not the Keanu Keller Award of Excellence, the Anthony motherfucking Truman Award. And then up next, following that, we have the Underrated Award, which goes to the character that we think has been underappreciated this week, that we enjoyed this week. And then we have You Need Slapping Down, which is basically explains yourself, a character we think needs slapping down for what they did this week. So yeah, which award do you want to start off with? I'd assume the Chris Crenshaw Award.
Yeah, we always start with the Crenshaw.
So the most promising for me is Sam's future, because hopefully this means Sam finally has some fucking direction. Hopefully this means Sam will. I know. Wow, you have direction. You've cancer. Woo! It's hard to confuse the two. But hopefully it's just Bill's character. But hopefully they actually don't just go, you have cancer, now leave. Like hopefully it's like you see her going. Obviously she's going private, because if you go with the NHS, from what I hear, you'll be there for 7 years, and then there'll be another 7 years on top of that, and then another 14 for an appointment. So yeah, I'm glad she's gone private.
They
but
are trying their best.
they are. No. That's more a dig at the government not funding the NHS.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Underfunded, overworked.
they're still on Windows 98 computers, for fuck's sake. We haven't, or Windows Vista, I would assume. They haven't upgraded or anything. But yeah, since she's going private, hopefully we see her going to the clinics, or getting checked out, or seeing a doctor, seeing someone. Hopefully the doctor's not Anthony Truman. That would be very weird. But just seeing someone and checking out and just seeing what Sam holds. And if in a possibility we do get Chrissy back, I would only want Chrissy back for one episode, where she just walks into the Vic, and you have Sam, maybe Vicky if you want, Sam, Chrissy, Zoe, and if you want Vicky and Sharon, and they just have a massive talk, it's just a kind of I don't want to say fan service, but kind of an episode being what we did was a bit wrong to your dad, Sharon and Vicky. What we did was a bit wrong, but you have to understand why. Kind of just talk it out, really. I think it'd be a fun idea. I know Chrissy's probably never coming back. I know she's one of the fans who's a big fan
I mean,
of.
she kind of got that storybook ending, really.
Yeah.
She got a way better ending than what was implied. So.
But I know the actress is a big fan of the next year's Eurovision. You know. But continuing on, What is your Chris Clenshaw award of excellence or award?
I think to kind of add to it, I think the best bit about Sam's return is the fact that it's a short stint because it means she's not going to tire herself out. On not even them, the writers aren't going to tire themselves out figuring out how they're going to not progress Sam as a character.
Yeah, yeah.
So you self-contained, very short. I'd assume she's gone in January, and then at that point on, maybe she gets, she gets it removed. Bomb. She's all clear. But I think in that way, it's I don't. It's just with Sam Mitchell, it's important that you just have a very finite, planned out story, and you don't prolong it. You don't have it go on too long, because Sam Mitchell at this point has been a character who has been riddled with a lack of distinction, a lack of true kind of forward planning, a lack of long term vision. And by not doing this, they always struggle to actually understand where she's going to go. And Sam Mitchell's character has been the equivalent of running on a treadmill. She feels like she's doing a lot, but she's not going anywhere.
So yeah, that is.
Oh, but my promising. I'm excited to see Nigel's play or film. I am. I honestly, I think that'll be a fun bit. I'm looking forward to it. I don't really know what's in store, but we are going to be eating good as viewers, considering we get to see Pat back. So yeah.
Or as the fandom call her, Fat Pat. Even though she's not really that fat. She's been on a swim pick. So, yeah. Up next is the Anthony Truman Award, formerly known as the Ian Keller Award, or formerly known as the Steve Blackman Award. Most wouldn't can be anything. I honestly don't know what I'd give it to this week, but just give me a second to think about it. There's a couple of things I could. There's an honorary mention because I do have honorary mentions for this award. Not any other award, just this award because I have some fun stuff to point out. So it gives me time to point out. There's in when when Sam was just opening that safe and it felt like that scene in Take on Me, the music video, where like they pull her into the notebook and then she's in the notebook with the man and in the music video. I felt like someone was just gonna grab her hand and pull her into that safe. Like that's what I felt like. She was gonna go to fucking Narnia or something. Just like being pulled in. I like that. I also try to figure out how do you realistically put a safe in a set. Like I know it's not a real wall. It just that broke my mind to think about for 5 minutes. But yeah, I like the set. The safe I should say. I also like the Judy's punch. Judy's punch is probably a great punch. But most wouldn't. Has to just be Teddy. Just Teddy in this week. Just sitting down for life. Ah, well, nice knowing you, lads. Lovely life I've lived. I'm gone now. So yeah, yeah. And another tidbit is just Oscar scoring some pussy and dick, and also Elaine getting the council to agree to do her boutique hotel. Yeah. Would we
Boutique hotel.
boutique hotel? Side note, just I know you're dying to do your Anthony Truman Award. If this was say this is like Coronation Street where we could actually visit the set, would you say this is a genuine hotel that we could visit? Would you for a video? Would you with me go to that hotel? Would you?
I mean, yeah, why not? Fuck it.
And I'm basing this in the fact that the person who plays Elaine will actually be there in character as Elaine. So she's there as well. I think that'd be fun actually. Imagine us three just there, just us two with Elaine. There you go. Some content. We will do that next year. Your
My Anthony Truman Award is the willingness how wooden it was of the willingness to make Teddy a character who got storylines after Chris Clenshaw left. Like, oh, Chris Clenshaw's gone. See ya. And just the lack of willingness to give any of the Chris Clenshaw like people any second chance whatsoever. So, oh, see ya, see ya. I know it's not. I know that we kind of we mock it a bit, but it's how every like new executive producer takes hold. They do just axe characters. It's not like a sink or swim. You just go, ah, well, you've just been shit for a while, so see ya. Like it's probably a um, a little bit
Ambiguous.
over the top to kind of lament Ben Wadey for doing this because it's just part of the parcel. But still, it's kind of a it's been sad. It's been a fairly hefty amount of cuts. So yeah, it's just a bit of a nuisance, but a very wooden set of principles towards allowing these characters a chance to thrive. Unlike Callum, who, despite doing nothing since Ben left, is still here. So yeah, just I don't know. Just look, everybody's got their favourites.
Yeah. Yeah. Up next is the underrated award. Who's underrated for this week? Elaine. Elaine and Ian's dynamic. That's what I'm going for. Like Ian, like thinking he's pulled the wool over Elaine's eye, being like, "I'm going to ring the council, and they're actually going to agree with me that you putting up this hotel is a bit wrong." And the council ring Ian and like, "Ian, sorry mate, not tonight. You can't do it." And he's, "Fuck, fuck." And then Elaine's just with a shitting grin again, just like, "Aha, aha." Yeah, that's what I enjoyed. It was that dynamic is underrated. Like you said, I am here for the shipping of the fact they have a one night stand, and Elaine immediately regrets it and Ian doesn't. I am immediately here for it. But yeah, what is your underrated?
I think my underrated's gonna go for Johnny's old uni friend. I think his name's Tim.
Tim, yeah.
Do you like Tim? I like how instead of Tim actually wanting to reconvene with Johnny, he's just put all his eggs in Callum's basket. Um, which just sounds funny, doesn't it? Like, just fucking, I don't know. It's really funny, isn't it? It's like, oh, hey, Johnny, well, how's Callum? It's like, we were friends. Like,
Just Callum seems like the
but
more
yeah, it's fun. It's
interesting
funny.
character, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who needs slapping down? Well, it's obviously Sam. She did try and rob a dementia person out of money. So whatever you have is yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty hard to disagree with.
yeah. And that
It
is
is
the
just Sam. But Sam did get twatted, so kind of the part and parcel. I guess she did indeed get slapped down.
yeah. So up next, it's Strictly Speaking, baby. Let me just make the timestamp very quickly. 113. 113? Yeah, 113. Oh, there we go. This is Strictly Speaking. This is the part where Ash talks about Strictly and how he enjoyed it, and possibly, maybe I'm a celeb. I get me out of here. So yeah, go ahead.
Nah, no need to talk about I'm a celeb. I'm glad it's over. I'm not sad that it's finished. Essentially, I don't think I'll be tuning into the next one. Didn't enjoy this one that much, and Angry Ginge one, which just feels a bit like, man, how many parents had to vote on their kids' behalf? um, as for Strictly, Strictly's a bit of a bittersweet one because it was musicals week, which is always a cool week in Strictly because I mean, I felt obviously there are people who don't like it. Everybody loves a bit of musical theatre in a sense, right? Everybody loves all the fucking ridiculously just I don't know, just unapologetic high highs of musical like theatre. I love musicals. Musicals are great. But it does come in a bit sweet sense as my favourite Lewis, who did replace the guy who played Hodor in Game of Thrones. He was and how it works is they essentially have like backup people ready for if people pull out. Unfortunately, two people got injured before the season, so therefore they needed new people. So therefore, the two people came in. Obviously, they've got a little bit of dance experience, but also in Strictly, if you have any sort of dance experience and people don't like you, that will be the whole narrative. And like even in the current show, you have Karen Carney, who was a Lioness like footballer, who probably won gold or at least won a World Cup. She did also have previous dance experience, but because people like her, they don't give a fuck. So I think she had trained to be a dancer till she was like 15, where she chose football. Um, so, but people don't talk about that because they like Karen a whole lot more, and I like Karen as well. Um, but unfortunately, it meant that Amber and Lewis, the actually best dancers in the competition, were pitted against each other in the dance-off because the viewers didn't really vote for him. So yeah, Lewis went, and it was quite sad. I didn't watch the results show because the results show is a waste of fucking time. But I did stay up to watch this to see the Strictly spoiler. Yeah, it's a bit sweet, but in the same way, Balvinder's in the semi-final, which I think is fucking cool. It's it's the kind of perfect thing, right? Where I don't know if I said this last week, but Balvinder, I said it somewhere, but Balvinder had the breakthrough moment in that week. Strictly, she did Never Enough, I believe. Was it? Yeah, she did Never Enough from The Greatest Showman, which is fucking fire. I love that song. And she fucking nailed the dance, and it felt like a coming out moment for her on the show because she's been in the dance off like 5 times. That's a lot of fucking times. But equally, being in the dance off has probably, given her more reps, given her a lot more time to kind of perfect stuff and actually get better. Not you only really get to do a dance once, so if you get to do it again, you're probably going to do it way better than you did the first time. Um, so she got through. She wasn't even considered for the dance off. So for her to manage to get into the semi final without being in the dance off is a fucking wild state of play. And I don't know. There may genuinely be a chance that she wins, but I also am not entirely sure. But I think I don't know. It's the weird thing with reality TV, right? Where Strictly is still a reality TV like competition, except it's kind of all dressed up, all sexy, and it's like, oh, this is cool because they're actually doing proper stuff and they're actual professionals here. So but for her to have such a breakthrough and have it's the old like reality TV term of like a journey. She's had a journey which has made people who previously didn't give a single fuck about her. Now they go, yeah, but she's had it so rough, and I wanted to succeed. Look, I don't tend to vote on this sort of stuff. Even I'm voting for Balvinder. Just like I don't want you to go into the dance off again. No, we must protect you. So like the reality
Or
TV is
bad.
reality TV, um, and yeah, it's cool that she's going to be in the semis. And will she make the final? I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe there's a 3-person. Is there always a 3-person final? I don't know. I don't remember the formats enough. Anyways, there's a chance she actually wins. Unlikely, but there's a chance she wins if it's up to the public. It's probably not going to be the actual best dancer because, she's already won Dancing on Ice and fucking Dancing with the Stars. So, I don't know. There's just a disconnect between her and the audience. But all in all, it was a good week of Strictly. It's sad that it's over soon, but also it'll be very strange to not have to watch Strictly every Saturday night. I
Yeah.
don't know. It was good fun though. It was a good week of Strictly.
I enjoy hearing your analysis. So I do. Now it is time because I don't have anything to add because I don't watch Strictly. Um,
Fucking analyze this. Oh yeah, I don't know.
uh, now
Terrible, terrible.
it's time for the after show.
If we were more popular, that would be a GIF. That's an absolute banger.
Oh, I didn't even have the camera on, so I couldn't even clip it on you.
I've got it.
Thank you. But yeah, this is the that's fully sent me. This is the after show where we obviously do whatever we want about the after show. I guess just very quickly since I'm repping him. I haven't seen the match because obviously we're recording this on the 11th of the 12th, so his match hasn't happened yet. I will just say thank you, John Cena. Yeah. Like I don't really want to talk about. I know I would do wrestling references on this channel, but I'll keep it very brief. Um, is it one of the best? Really, yeah, just weird to see him go. I don't really know how his final match is going to play out. I don't know what the story is they're going to try and tell. Even though if I was ideally booking it, I would ideally have him try to defeat the giant, but he can't, and he ultimately has to tap out. Because even though his motto is never give up, maybe in your final fight you do give up just one time.
I
You know?
I assume that he'll just like pass out. I don't think he'll tap, but I think he will just pass out.
Yeah,
Is the kind of
uh,
way that they'll do it.
it is kind of a well. I was gonna say it's a shit.
Not that I'm gonna watch
No, we
it.
can't really access it over here because we'll have to watch it on YouTube. But the problem with watching on YouTube is obviously it's Saturday night's main event, which means it's airing on NBC, I want to say. Which the problem with that is they've ads every 5 fucking minutes because obviously it's America, and they have commercials every 5 minutes. So like literally, John Cena could be about to put the AA on the opponent, and then fucking it'd be like, Domino's Pizza is sponsoring this match, and it's like, oh my god. Because then you get the YouTube shitty thing where YouTube's like, we will resume programming in 5 minutes, and it just annoys me. Like, why did you do that? I was also,
it's one of the reasons why I just gave up watching wrestling, really, because it's like, oh, this is cool. Adverts. Oh, fucking hell. Especially if you are watching it when they were on like what I don't remember what fucking channels on USA. Like, I get it. I get it. Advertising money in America is fucking huge because America, like, it's like YouTube. It's why a bunch of people want the American audience because the American ad revenue is mental. But it doesn't make it easy, more palatable to fucking sit through when it's
and
like, oh, what's gonna happen now? Adverts. Fucking hell.
it's also
Like, if
just,
I'm watching this at 1 in the morning, fuck you. Like,
it's also, and I just want to say this, it is, it's sad that John Cena is retiring, but it's also not at the same time because I feel like,
it's not.
yeah, it's not at the same time because like it was inevitable it was going to happen. It's just you don't really expect because he's kind of, it's weird. I don't want to say it's like Superman, but it's like when you have an ideal casting for a person like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. You ideally never want to see him give up the role, but he will eventually have to give up the role. Or someone else will have to take it on because he's getting older. It's the same in a sense with John Cena, where you don't want him to retire, but at the same time, if he's doing Hollywood, you don't really want him to be in wrestling where he could like dislocate his shoulder and then Peacemaker season 3 is delayed by 6 months because he dislocated his shoulder and can't do certain scenes. So it's sad, but it's also not at the same time. He's also his final run in WWE has been fucking shit, and the problem is he's too much of a he's just too much of a nice man to actually like yeah, can we
He's too
just
much of a
change it?
company man.
Yeah, he's too much of a company man because as a wrestling fan, like watching his run, it was just because I got
It was just
some,
unfocused.
yeah, I watched it's just a tiny rant from me just talking about John Cena's final run. I know you don't have to watch this, but you can skip ahead. I'll probably make this.
One thing I want the one line I want to get in is basically John Cena had two choices. You either retire now or live long enough to see yourself becoming Chris Jericho.
And no one wants to become Chris Jericho. But yeah, I seen some clips from his interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he asked him. Obviously, John Cena doesn't really like talking about wrestling. He doesn't really like talking about like his achievements. He prefers just to be like, "Yeah, I'm just doing this in Hollywood. Just yeah." Because it's very hard to really talk about wrestling too, in a sense. He doesn't really want to talk. But yeah, he was asked, "Oh, what's your thoughts on your heel run?" He went, "Yeah, I did really wanted a viable moment, so I just went, yeah, sure, why not?" They didn't really have thought in it. And I just went, that's a bit sad. They just wanted a viral moment, so you just completely derailed someone's heel, like someone's final run, by giving a useless heel run, and then invoking a fucking celebrity in there that doesn't even show up half the time. The celebrity being, I think, Travis Scott. So yeah, because if you
Yeah.
don't know, he turned heel, and then they were like, Travis Scott is here to. Oh no, he's not. The Rock. Oh, the Rock's not here either. Okay, bollocks. And then they just turned him face again. So it was shit. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to say.
It
It's
did make for the iconic moment, though. Unfortunately, it did indeed make for the moment, which is what they wanted.
it did work. I just think if had you
Just meant
planned,
that they fucking shit the bed after that.
yeah, it just I would have preferred if you had planned it out. of what you were
Oh
going to
yeah,
do.
no.
Like if you took a year, like if you knew he was retiring last year and you planned his heel run out of what he would do, then like you do it. And also, what I found out is he was supposed to do like 200 dates. But WWE went, we only want you for 36. I mean, just let him do the full year. Just let him do the full time. I know you make more money by doing multiple T-shirts. Going, he'll be at this location one last time, but just let him do the full run. Like if he wants to, if he's willing to commit, just let him commit. I guess in this sense is how I felt towards when Dot Branning left EastEnders.
I
It's
say
for,
that I bet he was getting. I bet he was getting paid per appearance though. Like
no,
fucking
he definitely was. He's the biggest fucking star they have. He definitely was. But
1 mil per show.
I bet it was more than 1 mil. I bet it's 1 mil and then like 2 million like merchandise and royalties. I bet. But seeing John Cena's final run in WWE, it's also very sad because it's sort of how I feel about how we feel about Dot Brannon, but it's how I feel about his kind of final year, where it's extremely sad if they had no real purpose of what to do. So it's just kind of, oh, you're here for one last time. Yeah, we don't really have anything for you. And I'm like, you could have just planned an entire year out for him. Like, yeah, like you don't have to plan the entire company. Just plan his time out. That's all you have to do. But no, you just had him show up, turn heel, create an iconic moment, and then leave. Sort of let everything fall apart, and then don't focus on it. And now he's retiring. It's going to be sad that he's gone. But again, no one ever retires in wrestling. I'm looking at you, Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
it's just yeah, it's a shame in a way. I don't know why this has become a fucking episode of One More Match. Someone just clip this and put this on the channel. Easy. Uh, no, but it is sad in a way because look, legacy is important in wrestling
yeah,
because at the end of the day, it is still fictional bullshit. So, but still, legacy still stands. The impact you made still stands, and you don't want to see someone fuck up their legacy, a la Alfie Moon 2018. You don't want to see someone fuck up their legacy because if it does, a lot of people won't ever be able to look at it in the same way. You know, you don't rewatch Lost being all excited for the ending, spoilers, and then they say it was all a dream. At that point, you go fuck the show. I'm not fucking watching that shit again. I wasted like 6 20 episode seasons on this bullshit, and they ruined it, and they fucking ruined it. So, I'll just echo my one point. You either retire now or live long enough to see yourself become Chris Jericho.
but yeah,
It's so good, so I had to use it twice.
yeah, just to put it out there, just to end the John Cena talk off. It's to me, it's kind of sad how they just had nothing for his year, like because
There's no long-term
yeah,
planning.
they had no long term plan because to me you kind of see like again, there's a big difference between fucking Chris Jericho and John Cena. I will just put it out there, but like why did you treat John Cena like he was just a random dude showing up? Like, just give him everything that he wants. Just have him like fucking, just go. Here's what we have for you. This is what you'll do. Yeah, you'll be in your own contained bubble. But no, and like I think he's even opening the show, which I know why he wants to open the show. He wants his retirement like show to be about the younger talent, which is fair enough. A lot of wrestlers wouldn't do that. So yeah, it's nice in a sense, but it's also I will look back at this with my spit sock, and I will look back at this like how they treated Dot Brandon. I'd be like, fuck you, WWE. Why'd you do this? But yeah, I did. If you don't know, I did go to Backlash in America to see him wrestle. Not to see him, but to see him wrestle, and it was good fun. I went to the one in Dublin where I got the shirt, and I was supposed to go to his final match. We had flights booked. We thought it was going to be in his hometown or where he's from, but they changed it to Washington D.C. And then, if you know what's happening in America currently, I went to my dad. I don't really feel safe there. And considering the fact the president might show up at that show,
I
which is
did
just
hear some shit where they said this could just be all bollocks, but it could have just been Twitter misinformation. But I did see a ridiculous sounding post of someone saying to get into the US, you need to provide 5 years of social media posts.
I'm fucked. My entire feed's about Luigi Mandione. I'm fucked. And putting the president with famous child photographer, Mr. J.E. Just making memes about that. Just to, I'm totally gonna get in.
Jeff
Yeah,
Epstein, the New York financier.
yeah, him,
That
yeah.
that funny bit. That funny bit. Really, Jeff? Jeff? No way. that fucking what a bit that was. Um, I mean that's for most of the after show really. I don't have too much else to kind of go into. I think we kind of. I mean, one thing I did this week is I had a little bit of a little bit of a meltdown really. At about midnight, my heart was racing. And I'm like, the views are down. The views are down. It's all going down. The channel's fucked. It's ruined. um, but then we recorded a couple more like sort of Reddit's videos, and it served its purpose, and I think we're back on track. We're back on track. Um, back on track, back where we want to be. Because it has been a pretty slow start to December, and we also had to fight my burnout after doing the big scripted video, and still do the Wolford on Tap, despite the first week being pretty miserable and the second week being kind of meh. Like, I don't know, there was just a bit of back and forth, really, which didn't really lend itself to being particularly productive. But we're back on track, I think. I think we kind of refound like, even just doing like some of the Reddit videos, I feel like that kind of reminded us, oh yeah, this is what we normally do. Like, yeah, sure, we mock the Reddit all the time, but it is actually still quite fun. But it's also more fun because we've not had to do it for like 2 weeks. It's lovely. It's lovely not being greeted by Reddit every day. You know, it's like going past your granny and not giving her a kiss. Just feels wrong. Just feels wrong without them. Come give granny a kiss. Mwah. Some of that. To be fair,
Oh,
one of my nans would pay us £1 to give her a kiss. So one of my brothers he was fleecing her. Come here, Granny. Fucking, I've got 20 quid.
wait, so he was fleecing her, or she was fleecing him?
Well, I mean, she got the kisses. He got the money.
That's
Guilt-free transaction.
um. I will say something that I found out, because the Game Award, when this is being recorded, is on in about an hour or two, and apparently The Last of Us, like a Last of Us like box has been revealed. Hold on, let me see, can I find it? So sorry, there's going to be nothing on the screen for the moment, but I'll just forward it to you. Um, yeah, this is So it claims that the Last of Us Collection remastered will be revealed at the Game Awards. Why the fuck is he getting why is he getting a collection? It's been remastered 4 times. Why the fuck's it being
I mean,
remastered?
look, you might as well take the money whilst you can.
I know, but I'm just saying, why the fuck? It's already been. It's just the fact it's being released, which has buckled me. But yeah, that's just I wanted
Yeah,
to
just classic.
classic Naughty
Classic.
Dog.
I
We
mean,
could
you get a cash cow. You make that money.
we could re-release Uncharted for the PC, but who fucking wants Uncharted? How about Last of Us? We all love The Last of Us.
Mate, I've been reusing that me dancing as a banana gif about 10 times a day. So, once you do one thing of any relevance, you just cling on. Just cling on to it.
Yeah. Well,
Um
yeah, I
yeah,
think
I think it's all on track though. I don't think it's too long. I will say I think the live podcast, I think it works. I think it works. It kind of I don't know, I feel like the slight separation after from watching the episode kind of leads to a bit more of you actually kind of think about it a little bit more, and it's like, okay, now it's time to put on a show rather than just being like, yeah, turn up, do the podcast, bosh it out in 40 minutes, fuck off. So we'll see. I think we'll try to do the live podcasts. I think it should be a regular thing. Obviously, schedule may change shit up, aren't you? Like, aren't you going to the UK in like a week?
I was supposed to go this week, but we decided not to go, and also
Oh,
yeah, so yeah, um,
fair
we're
enough.
not because we were
No
supposed
traveling for you.
yeah, staying here, no traveling, no traveling. Gonna cry when John Cena comes out. Gonna have a wank into my sock, and then spit in it, like usual. Um, but yeah, I feel like we leave it there,
Got to switch
honestly.
camera, so it's just my face just looking disgusted at that.
Uh,
um, but no, I think fundamentally, uh, Any updates? I mean, all I've really been doing, I've been playing Bloodborne still. I keep mentioning Bloodborne. You know when you have that mate who doesn't really know how to talk about his feelings, so he just has to craft a scenario where you have to ask him. It was like one of those like funny videos where it's like, oh, someone should ask me. I don't know. He made up a thing. You know when people say what's up, dog?
Yeah.
Or no, you say up, dog, and they go, oh, what's up, dog? And then they go, oh, not much, man. Just struggling a little bit. It's basically one of those scenarios, and where it feels like I fully lost my point by trying to fucking say that. What the fuck am I even saying? Um. Oh yeah, but Bloodborne essentially. Oh yeah. I keep trying to float it around, hoping that somebody will actually go. I know that game. I have opinions, but no one bites yet. You know, the one person I know who plays Bloodborne, other than my brothers, just he's becoming a dad, so not really got the time to shoot the shit about that game. But I'm near the end, and that's a sad thing because it means I'll have to find another game to play. And that's the eternal struggle of what do I do now? I don't want to look vacantly at my monitor. Please give me a game that I'm invested in or a show that I'm invested in. One or the other. I've also been watching more Dexter, but I've slightly stalled on it. But yeah, it's all right though. I mean, the first week of December for me really did drag, but this week has fucking flown by. So it just it take each week as it comes, and shit can change up real fast.
Yeah. And yeah, I've just been watching some more 06 TNA, Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling, which has been fun because I've been telling Ash about my journey because he tells me about Bloodborne. So I go, oh, I'll tell you about my interest on watching. And I've enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it and it's good fun. But yeah, I think that's where we do the outro now. It's been a lovely hour. Um, even though I didn't drink, bloody hell, I can't fucking do the mouse correctly. Even though I didn't drink, it's time to do the outro. Even though I feel tipsy and I'm not. So fucking hell. So what am I saying? This is the outro. I really hope you guys enjoyed this
What
podcast.
isn't it's cut out? There we are. Lovely.
I hope you guys enjoyed this outro. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I'm gonna try some Laffy Taffy. I don't know what it is. I can't wait to try it, and I can't wait to spew it up.
I only know the song. God, the Laffy Taffy. That one.
I thought you were doing a Shaggy
Don't know what the
impression.
fuck. Don't know what the fuck the food is.
I think it's some kind of like. Actually, let me just Google that very, very quickly. What is Laffy?
I mean, to be fair, in the song, it's probably just sex. So, you know.
Uh, just tell me what.
Is it often you share some Laffy Taffy with your dad?
Laffy Taffy is an American brand of taffy candies produced by the Ferrera Candy Company. Okay, but you're not telling me what the fuck taffy is. What is taffy?
I assume it's like toffee type shit, right?
Oh, it's a type of candy invented in the United States, made by stretching or pulling a sticky mess of a soft candy base made of boiled sugar, butter, vegetable oil, flavorings, and colorings until it becomes aerated. Tiny air bubbles produced, resulting in a light, fluffy, and chewy candy. When this process is complete, the taffy is rolled into small pieces and wrapped in wax paper to keep it soft. Usually pastel colored and fruit flavored. The other flavors are common as well, including molasses and the classic unflavored taffy. Okay, so that's what Laffy Taffy is. That's nice to know. But yeah, I'm gonna have some Laffy Taffy. Possibly watch the game board, render this video out, and yeah. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.